Hi everyone, how are you all? I hope you are enjoying your summer holidays now. It is not the summer holidays now because all the schools are reopened. Okay, now you have done already your holiday homeworks in your house. Now it's time for fun to go to school and enjoy with your studies. Okay, so enjoy your studies means go through the lessons. Now, so in our spoken English class, we also provide here some different type of learnings through English book also. Okay, I am your Sabha ma'am from Study English Academy presenting here the spoken English classes. Okay, thank you very much for watching me. Now, let's discuss about what we have done in our previous classes. In our previous classes, from day 1 to till now, we have studied only the speaking course through grammars and different type of talking and modals, tense and all type of grammars and how to speak in English through grammars. Now, today I am going to here discuss about the lessons and also spoken course. In speaking and lesson, both we are providing here. Okay, this is your book, the 10th standard CBSE book. Also, okay, now we are going to learn a new topic here, a letter to God. So, what is a letter to God? Have you ever seen or have you ever listened someone writes the letter to God? You, even in your life, have written any letter to God? Doesn't it seem stranger that someone is a deep faith in God and how correspondence with God directly, how faith it is? Here in this a beautiful story in your book, A Letter to God, which is the topic. And the writer is G.L. Fuentes, the American writer. Okay, A Letter to God. Through this lesson, through this topic, we are going to learn about the deep faith in God of a poor farmer called Lencho. Why he wrote the letter to God? When we go through the lesson to know about the faith, about ये विश्वास क्या है, why he wrote the letter to God. An interesting story is there. Okay, now why I am reading this story, you just see in the spoken English how I read these lessons. What is the pronunciation, what is the grammar inside, and all the things, the interesting thing we are going to discuss here through this lesson. And also very beautifully I explained here this lesson. You just go through this and see what I am teaching here very carefully. Okay. So, from the beginning of this lesson, I am going to study, I am going to read, you just see this. They say faith can move mountains. They say, that means people say, faith can move mountains. Our faith can move mountains, can touch the sky. That means when we faith someone else or in God, it will reach till the mountain, so high. Okay, but what should we put our faith in? विश्वास किसके ऊपर करें? Faith can reach mountain, but what should we put our faith in? हम किसके ऊपर विश्वास करें? That should be it will reach till the mountain, so high. This is the question this story delicately pauses. Delicately pauses means it is very much important here to know about this faith. To whom we put our faith, that our faith will reach till the mountain, so high from to the mountain, we reach to the mountain, as if our faith, unbreakable faith, जो विश्वास टूटेगा नहीं, हम किसके ऊपर इतना विश्वास करें? Okay, let's start the lesson. Lencho is a farmer who writes a letter to God when his crops are ruined, asking for 100 pesos. So Lencho is a farmer who writes a letter to God when his crops are ruined. जब उसका क्रॉप्स था, उसका जो कॉर्न फील्ड था, क्रॉप्स था, was totally damaged, destroyed. Okay, Lencho is a farmer who writes a letter to God. Okay, what for? किस लिए लिखा? Asking for 100 pesos. So here pesos is Latin American currency. Okay, Lencho asking for a help from God for 100 peso. It is the faith of Lencho. God will help him. It is the deep faith. Okay, does Lencho's letter really reach to the God? क्या सच में पहुंचा? Does really God help him? क्या सच में God उसको help करे? Okay, now let's start the lesson. Go through the lesson. Okay. So, students, first read with me or see how I am reading this paragraph or lesson. The house, the only one in the entire valley, sat on the crest of a low hill. From this height, one could see the river and the field of ripe corn, dotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. The only thing the earth needed was a downpour, or at least a shower. There, throughout the morning, Lencho, who knew his fields intimately, had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. Okay? You see how I pronounced here because it is the spoken English class. Okay, the speaking with fluency, and here I am reading this paragraph in British English. You just see, not completely the British English, just like British English, and you have to recite with me this paragraph and remember this. How I am teaching here, you also practice in your house this type of pronunciation. Once again I am going to recite. The house, the only one in the entire valley, sat on the crest of a low hill. From this height, one could see the river and the field of ripe corn, dotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. The only thing the earth needed was the downpour, or at least a shower. Throughout the morning, Lencho, who knew his fields intimately, had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. Okay, let's describe this paragraph first. So, from the beginning of this sentence, you know that the house, the only one in the entire valley, sat on the crest of a low hill. Now I am going to write this line. The lesson is the letter to God. A letter to God. Okay. So here I am going to write the first line to say something. What is the surprise here? It is the very much interesting grammar in the first line. You just see what it is. The house the only one in the entire valley sat on the crest of a low hill. So, in this line, what do you see? The house, the line, dash, the only one in the entire valley, again dash, sat on the crest of a low hill. So students, what are the two dash in this sentence? And why it is put here? And what is the house here? This dash, between two dash, there is a line. What is this line? What is this line? What is the house? And what are the two dash here? Okay. It is the beautiful answer I am going to describe you before. The house, dash, the only one in the entire valley, dash, sat on the crest of a low hill. The dash first we are going to see here. What are these dash? The two dash are called what? Parenthesis. Parenthesis or parenthetical line. Parenthetical lines. So what is parenthetical line? There are two parenthetical lines are here, dash and dash. Before this line, first we describe here what is the house. The house before this line, before this parenthesis or parenthetical line, the house is called the noun. It is the noun mentioned before. The noun mentioned before this line is called the antecedent noun or the noun mentioned before. It is the noun here. You all know that the house is the noun here. The house is the noun here. It is called the antecedent noun. It is called the antecedent noun. Antecedent noun. What is antecedent noun? Antecedent noun means the noun mentioned before the parenthesis. Before the parenthesis, the noun mentioned before is called antecedent noun or mentioned before. Why this? Now the question, why this line put it here in a sentence? Why? Because between these two lines, there is a description about the noun. There is a description about the noun, the house. What is the description? The house the only one in the entire valley. The house was a single house which was situated in an entire valley, and it was a single house, the single house. So it is the description about this antecedent noun or the noun mentioned before this parenthetical line. Okay, parenthetical line, this house was mentioned before, it is the mention, here the noun, and it is the description about the house. The only one in the entire valley. Next, sat on the crest of a low hill. Sat means was situated. Was sat means was situated. Okay. Why was situated? Why not is situated? You question? Because it is in the past tense. If sits, then it is situated. But here it is sat. The V2. Past tense. So here was situated. Clear? Yes, was situated on the crest of a low hill. Crest means on the top of, on the top of a low hill. Clear? Now see the house, the only one in the entire valley. It is a description about the house between the two parentheses. The house, the only one in the entire valley, was situated on the top of a low hill. Clear? You understand now? Okay. Let's proceed further. The house, the only one in the entire valley, sat on the crest of a low hill. Okay. एक घर था जो पूरा entire valley में single house था, और वो कहाँ पे था? On the top of a low hill. From this height, one could see the river and the field of ripe corn dotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. From this height, that means from the top of the hill, one could see, that means the past tense, one could see. कोई भी देख सकता था. क्या देख सकता था? One could see the river and the field of ripe corn dotted with flowers that always promised a good harvest. That means it was clearly visible from the height, from the top of the valley, from the crest, from the top of the valley, one could see, or it was clearly visible, the river, the ripe cornfield, dotted with flowers. Dotted means full of, like bobby print, full of flowers. The cornfield was full of dotted, scattered, dotted, and full of beautiful white flowers that always promised. And always, promise means always give, always gives. The field always gives a good harvest. अच्छा फसल होता था वहाँ पे. The only thing the earth needed was a downpour, or at least a shower. But for the good harvest, what does the field need? What did the field need? Here is the past tense. Only thing the earth needed उसको चाहिए होता था what? The only thing the earth needed was a downpour. Downpour means a heavy rain. The earth needed at least a heavy rain or at least a shower of rain. A shower of rain. एक हल्का बारिश. At least heavy rain, a downpour or at least a heavy rain for a good harvest. Then always it grows a good harvest. Only needed a downpour. Downpour means a heavy rain or at least a shower of rain. Okay. Throughout the morning, Lencho, who knew his fields intimately, had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. Now again you see here, I am going to write the line to explain it. What is parenthesis line? Okay. Now again I am going to write this line and you tell me in my comment box what is Lencho here and what is the parenthesis line and what is the description about the line. You note it down in your note copies. Okay, it is most important grammar here. I am going to write this line again. Lencho dash who knew is fierce intimately dash had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. Here, Lencho, the line, the two lines are here and it is the description about Lencho. Lencho is the noun here mentioned before the parenthesis line, the two parenthetical line, and between this parenthesis it is description about this noun, antecedent noun, or the noun mentioned before this parenthesis line. Okay, Lencho, who knew his fields intimately. Lencho knew about his fields intimately means very closely. Intimately means very closely. He knew about his fields very closely, had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. Lencho was seeing throughout the morning towards the northeast direction. Why? Since morning, Lencho had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast throughout the morning, since morning. Why? Is a question here. Why? So, students, generally monsoon comes from the northeast direction. You all know that. Generally monsoon comes from the northeast direction. So, in the prediction of rain, बारिश के अनुमान करते हुए कि बारिश होगा, the prediction of rain, Lencho, throughout the morning, Lencho was seeing towards the northeast sky. From his house, from the top of the valley, Lencho did nothing else but only seeing towards the northeast direction on the prediction of rain. बारिश के अनुमान में बारिश होगा बोल के वो देख रहा था. Okay, you understand? Now we are really going to get some water, woman. Lencho told his wife. Here in this line, now we just read the paragraph. Now we are really going to get some water, woman. The woman who was preparing supper replied, yes, God willing. The older boys were walking in the field while the smaller ones were playing near the house until the woman called to them all, come for dinner. It was during the meal that, just as Lencho had predicted, big drops of rain began to fall. In the northeast, huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching. The air was fresh and sweet. The man went out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. And when he returned, he exclaimed, these aren't raindrops falling from the sky. They are new coins. The big drops are 10-cent pieces and the little ones are 5s. Okay. Now let's describe this paragraph. Now we are really going to get some water, woman. So here in this line, woman. The woman, we understand what's the meaning of woman. In the first line, Lencho called his wife, was addressing his wife as woman. Because it is the village area, Lencho was a villager, was a farmer living in the village. So generally people call his wife, their wife, as addressing as directly woman. Okay. In the first line, the woman is the addressing. Now we are really going to get some water, woman. अभी सच में हमको कुछ पानी मिलने जा रहा है. Really we are getting some water. अभी सच में हमको कुछ पानी मिलने वाला है. The woman in the second line, you see, the woman who was preparing supper replied, yes, God willing. So in the second line, the woman means female in gender. Okay, generally it is female in gender. But the first line, the woman is addressing by Lencho, means his wife. Okay, no confusion. The two women, the same word. But in the first line, the woman is addressing by Lencho to his wife. And the second line, the woman means female in gender. The woman who was preparing supper replied, yes, God willing. हाँ, भगवान की मर्जी, God's willing. बारिश हो सकता है, it may rain. Okay. So, my first question is, what was the time? Since morning Lencho was seeing towards the northeast direction in the prediction of rain. But here from this line, from this word, the woman who was preparing supper. Supper means, what is the meaning of supper? Supper means evening time meal. So, evening time meal. We came to know from the word supper that it was the evening time. It was the evening time. Okay. The woman who was preparing supper replied, yes, God willing. The older boys were walking in the field. Where the older boys means the elder sons. The older boys means the elder sons were walking in the field while the smaller ones were playing near the house. The smaller one means the smaller children, the smaller boys, the younger boys, the younger sons. Okay, the older boys means elder sons, younger ones means the elder sons were playing near the house until the woman called to them all, come for dinner. Come for dinner. What did the woman call the son? Come for the dinner. come for the dinner. So here my one question is, super means evening time meal, but the dinner means what? Night time meal. So why the woman was preparing super in the evening time? It was the evening time preparing super, because super means the evening time meal. But he called his son, come for the dinner, come for the dinner. Why? Is it the question in your mind, super is the dinner? Super is the dinner? No, super is not the dinner. Super is the evening time meal, but dinner is the night time meal. So why here the Lencho's wife called their son, come for dinner? Is a question here. Again, beautiful question. Okay. That means generally in the village area, people eat in the evening time. They finish their dinner in the evening time. In the evening time, they finish their dinner. And the dinner converted into supper. But supper is not the dinner. Supper means the evening time meal. And the dinner means the night time meal. Generally, people in the village area, they finish their dinner and then from the evening time. Okay. So, here, Lencho's wife called their son. Lencho's wife the woman was preparing supper. Supper बना रही थी, शाम का evening meal बना रही थी. But he called their son, come for dinner. खाने के लिए आ जाओ. Because it's dinner, the supper, from the evening, they finished the meal. So that meal they finished from the evening time converted into dinner. Clear? यहाँ पे अगर जब एक क्वेश्चन आता है, generally these question are in the CBSE question, that what is super? Question आता है MCQ question में, what is super? Okay, let me explain you here. The question is, what is super? In MCQ question, 3 options are like this: dinner, evening time meal, option C, night time meal, option 4, all of the above. So if there are 4 options or 3 options in the exam, so what will you write here? What is super? पढ़ा था question, ये exam में पढ़ा था question. Okay. In 2000, I think in 2021-22 in examination, CBSE में ये pattern आया था. What is MCQ? MCQs. What is super? Super means dinner, evening time meal or night time meal. So if the question is like this, you put here evening time meal, not dinner, not night time meal. Clear? Well, so let's proceed further. It was during the meal that It was during the meal. Here, it was during the meal. Meal means at the night time meal or the evening time meal. It was during the meal, खाने के समय में, just as Lencho had predicted, big drops of rain began to fall. According to Lencho's prediction, who was predicted that it will rain and was seen towards the northeast direction since morning. As Lencho's prediction, a big drops of rain began to fall. बारिश होने लगा, बड़े बड़े बूंदे गिरने लगे. In the northeast, huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching. Okay, in the northeast, huge mountains of cloud. The clouds are here pretended as huge mountain. See, वहां से दिख रहे थे, बड़े बड़े बादल के जैसे दिख रहे थे. क्लाउड बड़े बड़े बादल कैसे दिख रहे थे? The huge mountain, बड़े बड़े पहाड़ के जैसे दिख रहे थे. और seen approaching are coming, वहां से आ रहे थे, दूर से आ रहे थे. क्या हो रहा था? Okay, in the northeast, huge mountains of cloud could be seen approaching. नॉर्थ ईस्ट डायरेक्शन से बड़े बड़े बादलों के पहाड़ आते दिख रहे थे. Could be seen approaching, were coming. Approaching means were coming. The air was fresh and sweet due to the rain. होता है ना, due to the rain, the sweet smell of the soil, the sweet fragrance of the rain, the fresh air always. You also feel that? Me also feel that. It is very much feeling good, the smelling good, the fresh air, the sweet air of the raining is fragrance is very much nice. Okay. So, in the northeast, huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching. The air was fresh and sweet, the sweet fragrance of the soil. The man went out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. And when he returned, the man went out for no other reason. बाहर नहीं निकल के गया. किस लिए बाहर गया वो? Than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain. No other reason than. और कोई रीजन के लिए बाहर नहीं गया. But the pleasure, the feeling, the man went out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling. वो आनंद लेने के लिए, किसका आनंद लेने के लिए? बारिश का आनंद लेने के लिए बाहर चला गया. No other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. And when he returned, जब वो वापस आया, he exclaimed, "These aren't raindrops falling from the sky. The raindrops are not falling from the sky. What? They are new coins. The raindrops here are the new coins for me." With joy, with pleasure, with satisfaction, the man Lencho exclaimed to the boys, exclaimed before his wife that the raindrops are not. It is not the raindrops. They are not the raindrops. That was the new coins. They are the new coins. Why they are the new coins? The big drops are 10 cent pieces and the little ones are 5. Why? Why he told that? It is not the raindrop. It is the new coin. The raindrop is compared to the new coin. Why it is a question here also? Because in this previous page, you learned here what? The earth needed at least a downpour or at least a shower for the good harvest. So, it is raining. It was raining. Now, Lencho's field got some water. It will give good harvest. After getting the water, the Lencho's cornfield will give the good harvest. After selling the harvest in the market, Lencho will get new coins. His earnings, उसका मेहनत, पूरा उसका मेहनत वो पाएगा. जब सेल करेगा उसके हार्वेस्ट को मार्केट में, his earning वो पाएगा. क्या अर्निंग पाएगा? Coins, the new coins पाएगा. उसका मेहनत आएगा. So यहाँ पे वो बोलता है, joy से, खुश होके बोलता है, it is not the raindrops falling from the sky. They are the new coins, my earnings, मेरा मेहनत, my labor, my earning. Okay, the big drops. So the big drops are 10 cent pieces and the small one are 5 cent pieces, 5 pieces. Okay, बड़े बड़े बूंदे जो है वो बड़े पैसे 10 पैसे, छोटे बूंदे 5 पैसे. So here it is clear that Lencho was very much happy, was satisfied that now Lencho will get a good harvest after getting the rain. Okay, after selling he will get some money, some income, and is compare the raindrops to the coin, new coin. You understand? Clear? Now come to the next paragraph. With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flowers trapped in a curtain of rain. What? With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flowers draped with a curtain of rain. With a satisfied expression means pura satisfied, fully. Now Lencho was filled with joy, was happy. Lencho's heart now fully satisfied and with joy. He regarded the field of ripe corn. Regarded means he looked towards his field with love, with satisfied expression, with love. Regarded his field means was seeing towards his field with love, with satisfaction that now he will get good harvest after getting the rain. Draped in a curtain of rain. Draped means cover with the cloth of rain. उसको मैं थोड़ा एक्सप्लेन कर देती हूँ. लैंचो क्या कर रहा था? सेटिस्फाई होके आनंद ले रहा था उसके फील्ड का, प्यार से देख रहा था उसके फील्ड को, जो उसके पके हुए बूटे, फ्लावर जो खिले हुए थे, मक्के के बूटों का जो फील्ड था, जो फ्लावर से बिछा हुआ था, फूलों से खिला हुआ था, अभी बारिश के चादरों में ढक गया था. कितना अच्छा लाइन है ना ये, बारिश के चादर में ढक चुका था. ओके, ड्रैप्ड इन अ कर्टेन ऑफ रेन. ड्रैप मीन्स कवर इन अ कर्टेन ऑफ क्लॉथ ऑफ रेन. With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flowers draped in a curtain of rain. उसके मक्के के बूटों के फील्ड, बूटों का खेत जो फूलों से भरा हुआ था, अभी बारिश के चादर में ढक चुका था. ओके, इसका वो आनंद ले रहा था. With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flowers trapped in a curtain of rain. You understand this line, the beautiful line here? But suddenly a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain, very large hailstones began to fall. But suddenly what happened? Suddenly a strong wind began to blow. बहुत जोर से हवा बहने लगी. And along with the rain, very large hailstones began to fall. Hailstone means बड़े बड़े ओले गिरने लगे. Okay? बारिश के साथ में बड़े बड़े ओले गिरने लगे. But suddenly a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain, very large hailstones began to fall. These truly did resemble new silver coins. These truly did resemble means look like. Did resemble here, resembled. Resemble, did resemble. Did resemble. Did means resembled. From resemble, there's two parts. It is the helping verb did plus resemble. Means look as if. Look as if. Look as if. दिख रहे थे. Looked as if. How it resemble? Look like as. Looked as if or looked like as. Did resemble. Okay. Now, but suddenly a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain, very large hailstones began to fall. बारिश के साथ में बड़े बड़े ओले गिरने लगे. This truly did resemble new silver coins. Why new silver coins? Because hailstones are look like white and silver coin also look like white. So here the hailstones are compared with the silver coins. The comparison here. So it is called the metaphoric expression. It is called metaphor. Okay, it is called metaphoric expression. What is metaphoric expression? Means that two things are different in nature, the hailstone and the silver coin. Both are different in nature, different by nature. The qualities are different, but they are compared to each other. The hailstones are compared to the silver coins. Here also in the previous line, huge mountains are compared to the clouds. Here is also the metaphor. Okay. And also here the silver coins are compared to the hailstones. The raindrops are compared to the new coins. All are the metaphors here. Okay. So, come to the topic. This truly did resemble new silver coins. The boys exposing themselves to the rain. They are dancing, they are exposing to the rain, exposing their body, dancing and enjoying the rain, ran out to collect the frozen pearls. Here also one comparison, the hailstones are compared to the frozen pearls. Frozen means बर्फ के pearls माने मोती. बर्फ के मोतियों को कलेक्ट करने के लिए बॉयज जो आनंद ले रहे थे बारिश का दौड़ के आए. क्या लेने के लिए? To collect the frozen pearls. Here the hailstones are compared to the frozen pearls. Okay. It is really getting bad now. It is really getting bad now. Why? Exclaimed the man. I hope, here man is the Lencho. It's really getting bad. बहुत ही दुख हुआ. क्यों? Exclaimed the man. I hope it passes quickly. It did not pass quickly. For an hour, the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, on the whole valley. I thought these hailstones come back. The hailstone go back. चला जाएगा. But it did not go back quickly. वो जल्दी नहीं गया. क्या हो गया? It did not pass quickly. It became into hailstorm. From the hail rain, it became the hailstorm. Hailstorm माने क्या हो गया ना, तूफानी बारिश होने लगा, उसके साथ में हेल का तूफान होने लगा. For an hour the hail rained. बारिश के साथ में hail मतलब ओले गिरने लगे, जोर जोर से गिरने लगे. हाँ, for an hour, 1 घंटे तक. And it turned into hail storm. बहुत सा hail storm बन गया. Storm बने तूफान बन गया. I hope it passes quickly. But it did not pass quickly. For an hour the hail rained on the house. कहाँ पे हुआ? On the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, on the whole valley. The entire valley, the hail rained for an hour. The field was white as if covered with salt. Now the field was white. कैसे दिख रहा था? पूरा white दिख रहा था. As if covered with salt. जैसे पूरा नमक बिछा हुआ है, वैसे फील्ड चारों तरफ से कवर हो चुका था with the hailstones. ओके, हेलस्टोन का बारिश 1 घंटे तक पूरे गार्डन में, वैली में, हर तरफ कॉर्नफील्ड में होता रहा, बरसता रहा. During this 1 hour, it was covered the entire valley and looked like as if covered with salt. Okay, covered with salt. The cornfield was totally destroyed due to hailstorm. Okay, now here also one question, one interesting question. I am getting all the inside questions. You remember that. They are the most important for you for the examination. Keep it in your mind. What are the important questions inside? And also it is the examination question, I am saying that. Okay, one question is here. Why the writer told here that the field was white as if covered with salt? He may take the sugar, as if the field was white as if covered with sugar. Why he told that the field was white as if covered with salt? Why he took here the salt instead of sugar? Sugar क्यों नहीं लिया? Salt क्यों लिया? In general, because the answer is, remember my answer. Remember my answer. What I am saying here is the important question and important answer. Because generally sugar is taken in the occasion of pleasure, occasion of joy, occasion of happiness. Generally, we eat sweet or sugar in the occasion of happiness. But here, is this the occasion of happiness? No, it is the occasion of sadness, sorrowful moment, as Lencho's field was totally damaged in the hailstorm. So, for this reason, बोलते हैं ना, the excessive salt in the curry, it's totally waste of the curry. If we put the excessive salt in the curry, the curry is totally waste. Like this. So here, writer told that the field was white as if covered with salt. पूरा नमक चढ़ गया, मतलब पूरा waste हो गया. And also the hailstone is here white as if salt. Not a leaf remained on the trees. The corn was totally destroyed. The flowers were gone from the plants. Lencho's soul was filled with sadness. When the storm had passed, he stood in the middle of the field and said to his sons, "A plague of locusts would have left more than this. The hail has left nothing. This year we will have no corn. That night was a sorrowful one. All our work for nothing. There is no one who can help us. We will all go hungry this year." So, not a leaf remained on the trees due to the strong hailstorm. बहुत जोर से जो hailstorm के बारिश हुए, ओले गिरे, उसमें क्या हो गए? Not a leaf remained on the field. fell on the trees. एक पत्ते नहीं बचे, पेड़ के सारे पत्ते झड़ गए. The corn was totally destroyed. The corn was totally destroyed. Totally destroyed. कुछ भी नहीं बचा कॉर्न, बूटे सब झड़ गए. The flowers were gone from the plants. Plants से फ्लावर भी झड़ गए, गिर गए. Lencho's soul was now, the cornfield was totally damaged, totally destroyed. Even a leaf, a flower not remain in the plants. कुछ भी नहीं बचा. Lencho's soul was filled with sadness. Lencho's soul means Lencho's heart, who was labor hard for the good harvest throughout the year. साल भर एक अच्छे फसल के लिए कड़ा मेहनत किया था. वो क्या हुआ, सारा मेहनत उसका बेकार चला गया. Lencho's soul was now filled with sadness. दुखी हो गया. When the storm had passed, after 1 hour, after damaging and destroying all the cornfield, he stood in the middle of the field and said to his sons. What did he say? दुखी होके क्या बोला? A plague of locusts would have left more than this. The hail has left nothing. A plague of locusts means